What's up, Raider Nation? My name's Jason, and I'm sorry I couldn't do a review of this game that came up last week. I was going through a lot, so I had to take care of some stuff first before I did anything else. But I made sure that I will give you guys the same show that I do every Thursday. And to start off, I'm gonna give you guys the injury report. And Chimdi Chekwa was limited today in practice, so I don't know how that's gonna go. Jones Drew, he's still out. I think it's gonna be a lot more serious than how Dennis Allen's putting it. He always says that injuries aren't that bad, but you know it is if he's still not practicing. Justin Tuck was out. He didn't participate. He was out with illness. He was sick, so he didn't participate. But I'm sure he'll be back on the field tomorrow. Hopefully he was on the field today. But yeah, he'll most likely be fine. Rod Schrader did not participate. He hurt his hip, but he seems very confident in himself, so I think he'll be ready to go for Sunday's game against the Patriots. Carlos Rogers was out with a knee. I don't know how his status is gonna go, but he's been out for quite a few, so I don't know if he'll be back. Seal Moore did not participate. He hurt his ankle, but I really hope it's nothing serious. And I'm just hoping this team gets very healthy soon because we need playmakers. And because I didn't do my review, I'm gonna give you guys a quick review about how I think the game went, and it was terrible. I wasn't happy about the game. I had to watch on my laptop, and it was just a bad game, bad play calling, and it was just not a good game. It was very frustrating, very aggravating to watch, and it was just embarrassing to really watch because all this hype up to off season and they've shown nothing, and it's mostly have to do with the coaching. Our defense really needs to step it up because if we play like we did last week, we do not stand a chance against New England. I'm sorry, guys, but if we play like we did, we won't be beating the Patriots at Gillette. That's going to be a really tough game. And we need to apply a lot of pressure this game coming up. But again, I'm just going to give you guys a quick review. It was bad. There was I did not see much of rushing the QB, the quarterback, at all. I didn't see any of that. It was just sad, guys. The Texans came in, and they just completely dismantled us on everything, every aspect. We couldn't do anything. They let J.J. Watt score, which was a bad play from Seal Moore. He broke coverage really badly because Arian Foster was running on the flat, so he broke the coverage thinking the ball was going to go to him. But J.J. Watt, which they should have known that ball was possibly going to go to him because he used to actually play tight end, I think in high school or the start of college, but then they moved him to defense. But I'm all done with the review. That was last week. I forget it. I don't really pay attention to a lot of the games. I think about the next week coming. And it's a really big test going for Oakland. They're going into New England, and they'll be playing the Pats, of course. And this is going to be a really tough challenge, but I think I heard what Charles Woodson said and saying how the Raiders sucked, which he wasn't lying. I liked that about him. He does not sugarcoat anything. If he has something to say, he will say it. And that's something this team really needs. They need that leader who will say it like it is, and I think he just said that to create motivation. Get the team pissed off and realize, holy shit, we need to do something right now. And I think that's what Charles Woodson was going for. I don't think he was going to say, oh, we suck, we're not going to win anything. No, he was embarrassed with how they played against Houston, and his emotions showed. But to winning, I think the defense just needs to step up. They really need to make plays, win the turnover battles, and most importantly, apply pressure. Get into Tom Brady's face, because we cannot afford Tom Brady to get on a roll, guys. It's not a good situation. Once Tom Brady's on a roll, it's really hard to get him out of it. So I think going in early, apply pressure. As much pressure as you can. Get blitzes from anywhere. Get Khalil Mack pressure. Get him on the line. Stop putting him all the way back on coverage. He's there to be a pass rusher, and they really don't use him for pass rushing. And I think that's going to change, because they really need to let him get into the game and actually apply the pressure to the quarterback. And another one that was really frustrating to see was the ball being turned over on offense. They need to really stop that from happening. They really need to just hold on to the ball. Stop fumbling. Stop throwing picks and all that. Well, I know picks are going to happen. It happens to every quarterback in the league. So I'm expecting that there's going to be one or two interceptions. But the fumbling is not good. Like James Jones fumbled it twice on the same play. How are you going to let that happen? And I think that's why we signed recently Vincent Brown. But I don't know if he's going to be really a big key on the offense. He might, depending on how fast he can develop into a team, because he has the height and strength, but he's really not that healthy of a player. So I'm kind of nervous if he's going to get hurt or not, but it's going to be tough to see. But the turnovers just need to stop. You cannot turn it over against the Patriots, because once you turn it over on them, they will feed off that. You saw that last week. People watched the Patriots game before the Raiders. I did, because that was the only game on around here in New England. And it was just not good. I was so pumped up for that Raiders game, but then watching them play, I knew it was going to be a long day. But if you let the Patriots and Tom Brady get that offense going, it's also going to be a really long day for Oakland. It's going to be a tough battle. You need to be very aggressive with this team, because it's going to be tough for the offensive line. This is going to be a really big battle for the offensive line to see if they actually can stick it in there with the best, because they have Vince Wilfork, who's a monster. They need to get him out. They need to make sure he does not make plays in Mayo. They need to make sure they get him blocked too, because they do a lot of blitzes with him. I think our running game won't be too bad, because we actually run pretty well against the Patriots. And Derek Carr, I feel like he's going to have a good game. He had a good game last week against the Texans, just we could not hold on to the ball. The fumbles killed us. Every time we had something going, someone would fumble. Like James Jones. That was a big moment, because we were driving down the field, and then Rivera fumbled, which that was not happy. I was not happy at all. But the picks was really alright. You're a rookie. That's going to happen in the NFL. But overall, he didn't have a bad game, and I don't think he's going to have a bad game against the Patriots. Belichick is even worried. There was an interview with him, and he said he's worried about playing against Derek Carr, because he's very unpredictable. You never know what Derek Carr is going to do. He's really good at what he does. And I think he's going to have a good game in New England, which I'm really hoping, because I'm going to this game, and I'm really excited, and I really hope that my first ever Raiders game is a win against the Patriots. That would be really awesome to me, going to my first ever Raiders game and watching them win. But it's either going to be a good game or a really bad game. And it's all going to matter by what happens in the first half. You can, like the first quarter of the Houston game, you can tell, oh, this is going to be a bad game. This is not going well. But now I'm going to move on. But this next thing I'm not really going to get into a big deal with. And apparently Mark Davis is close to signing of the deal with building a new stadium. Now, this is pretty good to hear, I guess, but we'll see what happens. I don't know, but we'll see. Now I'm going to get into my weekly predictions, which I make every single week on today. And to start off is with the game tonight with Tampa Bay and Atlanta. And I actually chose Atlanta to win this game. San Diego and Buffalo. I chose San Diego to beat Buffalo because San Diego looked really good against Seattle, and I think that momentum is going to help them win. Tennessee and Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati is going to pull off that win. Cincinnati is still a really tough team, and they are really good on defense. They're just a really good team. Baltimore and Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland had a good win, but Baltimore, they look really good. So I'm giving the edge to Baltimore. Green Bay and Detroit. Green Bay has been looking like they've been struggling a lot. Detroit doesn't look any better. So I'm going with Green Bay in this one. Indianapolis and Jacksonville. Indianapolis must be getting really frustrated, but Jacksonville, I don't see much out of them. But I think Indianapolis is going to get their win this week. Yeah, it was a really heartbreaking loss on Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday. Oakland and New England, because I'm a Raiders fan, I'm definitely going with my team. If Dennis Allen doesn't do what he's supposed to do and lead the team and be emotional and smack some sense into this team and show that you want to be a coach and make the plays, open up the playbook, do something, run more. Because they only ran it like 16 times with Darren McFadden, which is not good at all. That's not what you want to do. You want to run it a lot, and you want to pass it a lot. So I think if they do that and the defense actually wakes up and does something, it will be a good game for Oakland. And I feel like they can pull it off on the road, and that would be very impressive. Minnesota and New Orleans. Minnesota doesn't look too good. They crumbled on offense with throwing 4 interceptions, which is not really good at all. And New Orleans, I think they're going to come off with their first win of the season, because we're not the only 0-2 team. There's actually a lot of surprising teams that are 0-2. Houston and the Giants. I'm going with Houston because the Giants just don't look good. Eli Manning looks like he looks scared, but I just think they're not going to pull that one off. Washington and Philadelphia. Washington had a good game, but Philadelphia, I don't know what is up with them, but you cannot count this team out. 2 weeks in a row, they came back and won, so I'm picking Philadelphia to win this game. Dallas and St. Louis. St. Louis, they're not doing anything. They don't really have that quarterback leadership on offense, and they're still hurting on the offensive line and defensive line. So I'm going with Dallas. San Francisco and Arizona. San Francisco, it was actually pretty cool to watch. They lost their home opener, so their momentum's going to be pushed down a bit. So I'm going with Arizona to win this. Kansas City and Miami. Picking Miami to win. Denver and Seattle. This is going to be a good game. But I'm going to go with, I know it hurts to say this, but I'm going to go with Denver to win this game. Pittsburgh and Carolina. Carolina can pull this one off. Their defense is just monstrous. I didn't think they were going to do anything this year because of all the people that they lost, but they can really do some damage. And finally, the Monday night game, Chicago and the Jets. And I see Chicago pulling off the win. So those are my weekly predictions. And my final thoughts is I really hope the coaching staff steps it up. Because if they don't, just boot them out of there. Because we don't need that. And I can't wait for Sunday. Because, again, it's going to be my first game. And I'm really excited. But thank you, Raider Nation, so much for your help and watching all my videos and subscribing to me. And thank you for watching this video. I love all you guys. All you guys are like a family to me. And thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And comment anything you guys would like. Thank you for watching. Go Raiders.